Yeah. DJ BME in the building. About to get this AFP Talk interview going. I got my guest speaker on, Ricardo Black. So y'all stay tuned in for that. We're about to get this interview going. Y'all hear noise in the background, pardon me. That's my AC. We rolling. We live. Hope everybody can tune in. If you have any questions, please do hit up the chat if you follow in the link. And we about to get the show rolling. Just give me one moment. All right. And okay. Welcome to the DJ BME show, the Let's Talk Business. Tonight we got a special guest, Ricardo Black. He will be on the show, and we will be talking about the Artist Financial Program. Mr. Black is definitely a marketing genius with a solid background as a communication strategist, author, publisher, real estate wealth generator that has helped amass fortunes for those likely enough to cooperate or collaborate with him. Mr. Black brings more than 20 years of professional marketing experiences in the healthcare field. It's a lot that Mr. Black does. He's also a director of regional operations of the Artist Financial Program. But I will be bringing him on, and you all be able to hear for your oneself his background and what he has to offer and bring forth for us, the Artist Financial Program. Yiddy. But we about to bring Mr. Black on and get the show rolling. You dig? But while we make this call, I want y'all to just take a listen to a track or so. You dig?
Watch 'em fall, watch 'em fly. Credit cards, city bars, chasing highs, racing down the boulevard. I know I'm acting up lately, on my own ship playing wavy. Spend all my cash for a make it. I never worry what he do, he got those green eyes I see through. Spend all my love for we take it. All this bad blood in my veins, get it up tonight, get it up tonight. Feels so good to be this way. Get it up tonight, get it up tonight. You're too close, I'd overdose. Take a hit, I'm the one you want the most. Taste the words, let them slur. Sit the flame down like the way it burn. I know I'm acting up lately, on my own ship playing wavy. Spend all my cash for a make it. I never worry what he do, he got those green eyes I see through. Spend all my love for we take it. All this bad blood in my veins, get it up tonight, get it up tonight. Feels so good to be this way.
Hey. Mr. Black.
I'm here whenever you... Yes, I am. I'm here whenever you are.
All right, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's a long day, man. Long day. But Excited to be on the call with you tonight. Looking forward to spreading some more enthusiasm about what we're doing here for the artists.
Indeed, indeed. And for the people that don't know, you had the floor to introduce yourself and give them a little bit about your background so they'll know for their one self.
Okay. Well, my name is Ricardo A. Black, and I have a very varied background. I guess I could start with the most recent stuff and work my way back. As I sit here in my car, I'm actually just parked on the side of the road as I make my way from one of my offices. I'm running 3 companies right now. One of them is president of an autism early intervention company in Long Island, New York. And that company asked me to be their president because of the marketing work that I did to help launch their business. And with the help of my MBA, I was able to at least point them in the right direction and get some strategic ideas for them to really take on the world of early intervention in a very big way. So a company that's less than a year and a half old, I was able to help them grow to a $2 million business in about 18 months. Their future is very bright. So we're doing some great things helping children in New York City. In addition to that, I also run my own company known as Ultimate Better World Solutions, which is a marketing and communication company where we focus on publishing and marketing communications. And publishing is one of the things that I love to do because I love to write, and I also love to help others to get their name in a book and get their name out there. So I've written approximately 30 books, but I've published about 10 of them so far. They're all on Amazon and Apple, iTunes, Google, and Barnes & Noble. But beyond that, I really believe that every person who has ever lived, they have something of value to share and to leave with the world. And I really believe the best way to really impact the world for generations to come is by publishing. And being an author is the most important way to do that, because if you don't leave your legacy in writing, years later, long after you're dead, no one will ever remember you. They will not remember you existed, and they will not know what your thoughts are on certain topics. So publishing is very important. So that's why I do it. While publishing and helping my clients in New York City and around the world, an interesting thing happened a couple years ago. I would say about 5 years ago. A lot of my clients who are now getting their books in the market were getting their identity stolen, because there were people who wanted to become, famous, or they wanted to use the name of a famous person. We had people in Arizona buying cars in the name of my clients who were in the far northeast. And when we got wind of this, we started to realize that, it's one thing to be a published author. It's another thing to get your name and your identity stolen. So this led me down the path of providing credit and financial protection for my clients. And one of the things that became very, very common at the time was credit was a much bigger world than I thought. And when I looked at all the different places in the world where credit really had a foothold, it became apparent that credit is really the key to your success in America. And so we looked at credit and saw that it really was your calling card. It was the thing that determined whether you could rent a car or get on an airplane or even rent a hotel room. And in many cases, you couldn't get a job without getting good credit, or turning on the cable, or even have a phone in your name, your light bill, your water bill. All of these things are based on your credit, and I had no idea. And so I utilized my knowledge that was building over those years about credit and started to realize that there is one thing that you can use credit for that can really put your name on your generational wealth like no other, and that would be real estate. And so when we looked at the millionaires in America today, we looked at the people who are really making it big in wealth generation, we started to see a consistent theme. And that theme was real estate. So 90% of American millionaires today are making their money in real estate. And so you need credit and you need money to do real estate. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about tonight. But even a little further, where did I get all of this information from? Well, I went to a school in New York called New York University, and I went there, wanted to be a doctor. I soon found out that I was not really cut out to be a medical man, because my first day in chemistry lab was to prick my finger and to get my blood type. And I swear to God, out of 480 students, I was the only one who hit the floor at the sight of my own blood. So I realized that, okay, if I can't stand the sight of blood, my own blood, I'm not going to be a very good doctor. That's not going to work too well. So I went and did some soul searching and figured out that what I really love to do was communication and marketing. And so I landed in marketing, in the world of pharmaceutical advertising, doing serious marketing campaigns and helping corporate executives to speak and deliver a message to their corporate clients to help them to win major pieces of business. So some of the things that I did was help to craft the story to help some of my clients to win businesses like Viagra. I don't know anybody in the world who doesn't know Viagra, but I was part of the team that launched Viagra back in 1996 for Pfizer. And, you know, if you look in your typical medicine cabinet, you will see a lot of medications, and many of them I've touched, such as, for example, Lipitor, which is a vital medication for people who has something called dyslipidemia, which is a fancy word for saying you have a lot of fat in your bloodstream. So it's like lipid buildup. So Lipitor helps to get rid of the cholesterol. And then, of course, there's something called Norvasc, which is great for people with high blood pressure. And if you have children, you got to have something called Zithromax, which is an antibiotic for all those kids that are in the daycares and they bring home their snotty nose and they give their parents a flu every 2 weeks. These are the medications that, and many more, that we've been marketing for many, many years. And so we learned that marketing is really the key. So you have all these different skill sets, Ricardo. How do you bring them together to really help humanity? And that is also the reason why I created a company called Ultimate Better World Solutions, because at the end of the day, everyone is here for a purpose, right? We want to be remembered for certain things, but at the end of the day, humanity really loves to help each other. And we all want to help at the end of the day. So my purpose was to help individuals to achieve their personal and financial success. And the best way I knew how to do that was to create solutions that will make for a better world. And to make sure that I did what I did in such a way that it was the best of the best solution possible, which is what made it ultimate. So Ultimate Better World Solutions is all about me delivering the best that I can to make for a better world. And that's where we are today. So we decided to connect with some people who are also doing some really great things. And so, Jerrod, I don't want to steal your thunder. I think that's a good enough background on who I am right now. So I want you to go ahead and get started with what you really want to talk about so we could actually, deliver that content, in the right timing.
Oh, yes. That's amazing right there. I knew a little bit about your background, but I didn't know you was that far into, the healthcare field as well.
That's right. I got to tell you, healthcare is an interesting field. I actually once made a joke with the CEO of Pfizer, and he thought it was funny, but then again, I thought that he gave me this look that made me realize that he understood what I was saying. Pharmaceutical products are medications. But the funny thing about medications is that until the product called penicillin was invented back in the 1920s, penicillin was